We will, and a bit disconcerting it's Music Theory's fourth career run, so getting the hang of things by now. Anyway, they're off and racing. Emirates Flyer actually in the white cap, second Godolphin colours, jumped best, but is restrained as Music Theory is allowed to use that stride and get out in front. Rossa Corsa is keen, and at the rear of the field, Kingman is settled. Now, it's all about the learning curve, and coming up for the first time for several of them is a curve, in the sense that most of these haven't been around a bend before. Music Theory leading by a length from Emirates Flyer in second, Rossa Corsa in third place, and Kingman, say, encountering the first turn in his career, is last of the quartet. So out in front, it's Music Theory, pointing the toe, leading by a couple of lengths from in second Emirates Flyer. Trying to keep it simple, James Doyle, out of trouble, just sitting on Kingman, trying to preserve the energy without giving the leader too much start. And interestingly, Emirates Flyer's rider, Silvestre de Souza, just keeping an eye on where Kingman is, forcing him a little wider. So out in front, Music Theory leads. From in second, Emirates Flyer. Kingman up on the outside, making his ground pretty smoothly, it would appear, with Rossa Corsa last off the quartet. Now, Music Theory is now asked to stretch, and Kingman, for the first time probably in his career, is just faced with a little bit of a battle, but he readily goes to the front. Dismisses Music Theory. Emirates Flyers try to rally for second place. Now all about education rather than the day, because Kingman's got this in safekeeping. Pushed out by James Doyle by about 2 or 3 lengths, and has won this pretty comfortably. Job done for Kingman, job done for James Doyle. Solario winner comfortably by a couple of lengths. Emirates Flyer got up for second for Music Theory. Rossa Corsa last of the 4, and a perfect first day in the saddle for his new job for James Doyle. Competent ride, kept it simple, and undoubtedly on the best horse. Kingman, the 2-7 favourite, wins the Betfred Mobile Solario Stakes.
With Ladbrokes, single figure odds, and you'd be a brave man to lay him at much bigger than that, because he has breezed past 2 colts with useful form and has left them standing here. And Kingman, only nudged out, has won the Solario Stakes and emulated Ravens Pass, who came from the same stable and went on to win the Breeders' Cup Classic. It is perfectly reasonable, not absurd at all, to have lofty aspirations for a very, very smart colt indeed.
Just about in now. That's it, ready. They're off. They race away for this Aeon Greenham Stakes. No Leaf Clover on the left, broke rather awkwardly. He's very free in the early part of the race as well. Astaire with the noseband has bounced out in front from a hard-pulling Berkshire, the white sleeve jacket. Jim Crowley trying to get him settled. Meanwhile, Supplicant has taken second place. Night of Thunder, the white and red jacket, is running up into third position. And then Golden Town in blue. That's pulling fiercely, as so many of these are. Windfast is there. Kingman is towards the left, a pink cap, and he has settled nicely. Latter Will in the yellow and blue jacket is right in behind him as they settle down. The back marker is Master Carpenter, as they've left Kieran Fallon alone in front on Astaire, who heads down to the halfway stage leading. Right in behind him, Ryan Moore, Night of Thunder, red and white on the cap. On the right is Berkshire, and then Supplicant towards the left, a red jacket. The extreme left, the pink cap, is Kingman, 3 or 4 lengths off the lead at this stage. Further back to Windfast, and then comes Golden Town towards the right, making a challenge, as also is No Leaf Clover. But they let Astaire go in front. He leads, but now Kingman is out after him. He's a length behind him and eating up the ground. Night of Thunder is there with a chance as well. Kingman has cleared away. Inside the last furlong, it's Kingman now and James Doyle by as many lengths as he wants. He's won the Aeon Greenham Stakes in storming style. Kingman won it, Night of Thunder second. Master Carpenter's probably grabbed third on the line from Latter Will and Astaire either side of him.
At about at the 2 furlong marker, Astaire might just have nicked it. Then suddenly you see him behind Kingman, absolutely cruising along. I don't think they've gone that quickly the first couple of furlongs or so, and I thought it would probably turn into a bit of a sprint. But look at him. James Doyle had his every move covered there, still on the bridle here as they approach the furlong marker. He asks for a reaction, and he absolutely gets it. Very, very quickly, he skips away, and he scores very, very decisively. He is bound to soar very quickly to probably the top of the market. I've got a price beside me now from St James. He's, what, 2-1 favourite for the Guineas now, which is not a surprise. Boys, after a devastating performance there.
Big time flat racing is back, and quickens your pulse. He just went whoosh there, Mick. That was the performance of a potentially world-class miler.
But it was interesting. We were talking beforehand, you know, we said the fillies race, they were all in a bit of a heap. So you don't really have anything you can go on. But when you have a horse stamp authority on a race like this horse has, when you have the depth that was in it, it shows you this is a class performance.
Frankel, in these colours, won this race in similar style 3 years ago.
Move well to the start, outstrip. Ready to go and away for the Kipco 2,000 guineas. Kingman, probably one of the last to leave the stalls. Nuzo Canarias for Spain leads the way, blasting off 2 lengths or so, and 2 or more, and outstrip racing apart from the others. There's a difference of opinion here amongst the jockeys. We've got 2 races on the far side. Nuzo Canarias from Chelmsford, the Grey Gatsby, Book Runner, Night of Thunder, and Kingman in that far side group. And will his chance be compromised here? The main body coming down the stand side, led by 2 or more. Richard Hughes, Shifting Power, Urtijal tracking them. Australia in the purple jacket, the great outstrip, as they continue on towards the halfway stage. And we'll look for that 4 furlong split with Nuzo Canarias continuing to lead over on the far side, chased by over there the Grey Gatsby and Charles Spirit and Book Runner, and then Kingman still at the back of that group along with Night of Thunder. On this near side it was 48.9 for the first half mile, so it's a pretty solid fraction. 2 or more on the near side of Shifting Power on this right hand group, followed by Australia, then War Commander Urtijal, and then after these is Outstrip as they now head inside the final 2 furlongs. So which side in front here? On the far side, Nuzo Canaris is now chased down by Kingman in the pink cap. On the stand side, Australia is coming through with Shifting Power and 2 or more. Far side, Kingman. Night of Thunder's running on very well. Down the near side, Australia. Kingman far side, Night of Thunder. Australia near side, spread right across the track. Is Night of Thunder may just have got it, but we wait for the judge. Kingman far side, Australia near side. I reckon Night of Thunder and Kieran Fallon may have sprung a massive upset here in a very unsatisfactory race. Night of Thunder, Kingman far side, Australia near side. We'll wait for the freeze frame. Kieran Fallon, who's won the Guineas 4 times. It looks as though it's been announced 40-1. Night of Thunder, who was no match for Kingman at Newbury in the Greenham Stakes, has turned it around here, drifting off a true line in the final furlong, but getting up to win. What
Thanks to make up with Kingman. Kingman nearest the camera in the Irish Guineas. Tony O'Hare.
Tony.
Ready to roll. The Tattersalls Irish 2,000 guineas. The favourite Kingman nearest to us, alongside him Mustajib, and away they jump. And Shifting Power was well away. Also Mustajib. Kingman towards the rail as they race through the first furlong. Shifting Power with a white face in the lead, followed by Great White Heel. Mustajib towards the inner, then Obliterator. Then on the outside is Michaelmas, just behind these Fountain of Youth, and then Big Time. And behind them, Johann Strauss, the favourite Kingman, mid-division on the inside, ahead of Dolce and Karama. And behind him is David's Park as they race towards the elbow, and Shifting Power and Richard Hughes in the lead, being followed by Michaelmas on the right. And they're all coming towards the centre and maybe over towards the stand side, in fact, with Shifting Power there with a white face in the lead. Mustajib, the blue colours towards the left. The navy blue on the right is Michaelmas. Just behind these we have Johann Strauss. Kingman is there towards the left. Fountain of Youth in the all pink colours, then Big Time. And racing on now past the halfway stage, Shifting Power, Great White Eagle just behind them, Michaelmas with Fountain of Youth and Mustajib. Kingman is just behind them with Big Time, and then Johann Strauss. Dolce and Karama being ridden along is Obliterator, and David's Park is the back marker as they race down now towards the last 2.5 furlongs or so, and Shifting Power is the leader, being followed by Great White Eagle. Then comes Mustajib. Kingman on the extreme left. Big Time is in behind them with Michaelmas. Johann Strauss trying to make ground. They're inside the last furlong and a half. Shifting Power, Mustajib, Kingman being launched now on the far side. Johann Strauss in behind them, and then Big Time as they race inside the final furlong. It's Kingman coming there on the outside to take it up from Shifting Power and Mustajib as they race into the closing stages, and it's the favourite Kingman, driven out by James Doyle, wins it well. Kingman wins the Guineas. Shifting Power is second. Mustajib third, clear of Johann Strauss. Big Time, Great White Eagle, Michaelmas, Dolce and Karama, David's Park, Fountain of Youth and Obliterator tailed off. So
The world is his oyster now, and for young James Doyle, it's his first full season in the job. What better way to go about things than to win a classic for your boss? It just buys you a little bit of credibility, you know, because you've done it now on the big stage.
And he's stretched his superiority over shifting power, 2.5 lengths at Newmarket in the Guineas when they raced in separate groups. He's really bossed that horse and everything else in the race today. No war command, as you said, no Australia, and very significantly, no Night of Thunder. But there is no doubt in my mind, very good horse Night of Thunder, make no mistake. But if they clash again, and they probably will at Royal Ascot, there's no doubt which horse will be favourite.
This was Kingman at his best, and he's franked the form with shifting power back in second, and a good run from Musajid back.
Straight in, they're lined up. They're off. They race away 1 mile in front of them as they begin their journey. Night of Thunder, white and red jacket against the running rail. First out, the dark green colours of Yufton goes alongside him. They're followed by the grey Outstrip and the Godolphin blue. 1.5 lengths behind them and holding third position. And then comes Prince of All, Tourmore, and the light blue and orange, Ryan Moore. Horse is a little free and pulling Ryan's arms out as he runs around the outside of runners. Kingman, a pink cap for James Dorr, right at the back of the field with War Command and Joseph O'Brien in the check jacket of green and white. There'll be about 6-7 lengths first to last, as it is Night of Thunder and Richard Hughes who leads them towards halfway. Now by around about 1.5 lengths, the dark green of Yufton in second place. Then comes Outstrip, the blue jacket in third. Tourmore about 3/4 of a length behind in fourth position as they begin the run towards the home turn. Against the rails in fifth position, Prince of All, and then Kingman in sixth place and 2 lengths away to War Command. So around the home turn they come, and it's Night of Thunder in the white and red jacket continuing to lead to Yufton in second place. Then Tourmore. On the right is Kingman with a pink cap beginning to edge closer. Outstrip is next. War Command is still the back marker. Inside the last quarter mile, Night of Thunder in front to Yufton still in second. Kingman now coming on the outside to deliver his challenge. Tourmore is next at the furlong pole. Night of Thunder and Kingman, the big two fighting it out. Kingman now and James Dorr has shot through to the lead and he goes clear. Kingman has won it in great style. Night of Thunder in second, Outstrip in third position, and home in fourth is War Command.
Darwin will be the last in then for this Kipco Sussex Stakes, part of the British Champions Series, and they're off and racing. And Darwin bounces out of the stalls. Toronado's rider is right on the premises early on. In third place races the grey Outstrip, and Kingman is under restraint at the back of the field. So out in front, Darwin just setting a steady pace. Toronado positioned on the outside. Kingman tracks his main rival, pink cap, and on the inside is Outstrip. So a very steady first furlong or so set by Darwin and Joseph O'Brien. Toronado on the outside, and Kingman, who came off a similarly steady pace at Ascot, held up on the outside of Outstrip as they prepare now to make the turn into the straight via the bottom bend. And out in front, Darwin. Toronado in second place. In third, Outstrip, and Kingman held up at the rear of the field. So Darwin and Toronado. Toronado's rider deciding when to press the leader with a bit more vengeance. Not yet, it would appear. Third for Outstrip, and Kingman still held on to at the back of the pack. Darwin had the run of the race out in front during the first half of it. Toronado in second place, poised on the girths of the leader, then Outstrip. Kingman is tracking Toronado's every move here as they make their way with 2.5 furlongs to go. Darwin, Toronado still travelling powerfully. Kingman is still his shadow. Now the moment, Toronado lower in the saddle, goes past Darwin. Kingman is on the leader's girths, still just trying to keep his powder dry. Toronado quickened up well. Kingman a bit disorganised when first asked to quicken. Then Darwin, Toronado. Kingman taking a long time to get balanced. Now begins to surge. Kingman purring at Toronado, and Kingman will run him down. He took longer to get organised, but he's won the Sussex Stakes from Toronado. Darwin's right there in third, and Outstrip in fourth place.
Kingman crowned as the top miler in this country at least, with that defeat of Toronado. The older horse, the winner of this race last year, the winner of the Queen Anne at Royal Ascot. He has been defeated by Kingman. The 3-year-old has held sway, the 2-5 favourite for James Doyle and John Gosden. It wasn't straightforward. He was... Absolutely. It's not the kind of race that has allowed the winner or the second to express their superiority over the rest of the field.
No, it's as well that the third and fourth aren't going into handicaps after this. Because they've finished rather closer than perhaps they were entitled to, but it wasn't that sort of race. It was a race that was about one horse running against another, one horse having a better turn of foot than the other, two champion milers, and Kingman, despite being somewhat uncoordinated, perhaps inconvenienced by the ground, he's still shown that really good turn of foot to go to the front in the final furlong.
It'd be good to see that point again, where it's almost he's wheel spinning, isn't it? I mean, he's trying to get a point where he's balanced. You can see him trying to find the stride, find a way forward to respond to what James is asking him to do.
Yes, absolutely. But in the end,
Rysina successfully in, so they're all installed, all locked away, stand by. And away they go to a pretty level break. Who's going to go on? It looks as if Olympic Glory in the centre with the blinkers just about heading the others, but they're all just going pretty steadily. Kingman on the inside, so they settle down now, and it's Olympic Glory from Rysina pulling strongly. Now Red Dubawi goes on after 100 metres or so. Eddie Ardouin decided he could make a proper race out of this, so Red Dubawi's gone on, leads by a couple of lengths from Rysina in second. Anadin is third, Indian File, and behind that one comes Olympic. They've gone meters now, and it's Red Dubawi setting the pace and really quickened up the pace to quite a serious pace now. He's about 3 lengths clear of Rysina in second. Then on the right with the white sleeves on the blue colours, that's Anadin, and then after these comes Olympic Glory, and Kingman brings up the rear. So they're racing down now towards a point, perhaps not quite the halfway point, about 900 metres from home, perhaps. So Red Dubawi leads and quickening all the time, Red Dubawi, and now James Doyle decides he's going to ask Kingman to go up towards the leaders, because this is testing ground, and they've got to get motoring to get going and keep up the momentum. Rysina's off the bridle, Red Dubawi's off the bridle, and it's going to be between Olympic Glory surely in the centre for Anadin with the white sleeves, but Kingman on the far side. So Kingman now as Olympic Glory climbs enough as they come home. Kingman wins easily, Anadin second, then comes Olympic Glory third, after these Rysina and Red Dubawi. But Kingman duly does the stuff, and pretty comfortably as well, put into the race 400, 500 metres out perhaps, and wins very readily indeed. Well, that's quite a relief really. I don't think anybody wanted to see him beat except the connections of his rivals. Kingman has come out of the race in good shape. Frankie flat out there with the maroon cap on Olympic Glory. So too is Olivier Pellier. Two and a half lengths, a length and a short head.